I am live. Welcome to Insta Job Hunt.
YouTube.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's what is this again? This is YouTube Job Hunt live.
Yeah.
Yeah, welcome everybody. I hope you guys are all having a great day. Honestly, I really. What's that?
Prop guy.
Prop guy. Oh yeah, the couch. Gotta fix the couch.
Yeah. Sorry, gotta make it look nicer.
It's gotta look better there. So I really do. I hope all you guys have had a great first couple days back in here in the office. Hope you all enjoyed your long weekend. And here we are for a little bit more employment today. One of the things today I really want to go into, and I've talked a lot about this. A lot. And I really want to just spend a little time focusing on this today, is soft skills. And so I printed up this list today, and it's 8 job skills you should have. And now these job skills that they're talking about are job skills for any beginner, anybody who's going in to work for their first time. And how do we gain these skills? A lot of these skills are gained by the things we do in our day-to-day lives, our other relationships, whether we learn some of these in school at one point, whether we're still in school and we're still learning these in school, volunteering, whether you've learned some of these in volunteering. So today what I'm going to do is I've got a list of the 8. And I'm going to have individuals come in and I'm going to ask you a few of your skills that you think you have out of the 8. And then we can talk about scenarios and when you've used these skills. Because remember guys, these are all skills that can go on a resume. And I really want you guys to be aware of this because sometimes we sell ourselves short, you guys. I do it as well. I don't always look at all the skills that I might have so sometimes we do. Sometimes we don't even understand what they are. I don't understand every skill that's out there. And I don't know them all. So maybe there's some that we just need a little guidance and a little help with. So today we're going to go through 8 job skills you should have. And we are going to go ahead and bring individuals in here. And like I said, I'm going to go down through the 8 and kind of see what each person has. And then we can learn a little bit more in detail about each one, okay? I will actually read off the 8 while Clayton goes and gets some guests. One of the job skills is communication, all right? The second one on this list is teamwork. Number 3 is problem solving. And I do know communication and problem solving are a lot of the trainings that we do around here. We always talk about teamwork. Initiative, planning and organizing, self-management, kind of falls into the time management zone a little bit. Willingness to learning. And then of course in today's work field, technology is definitely something to have knowledge of. And I was quite amazed when I read this because, you know, some of these things you think, oh man, technology, that means I need to know how to build a computer. And that's not necessarily true. So let's see what we got. And we've got some folks standing out the door. And I'll go ahead and start calling these folks up. Brandon, come on up, sir. How you doing?
All right, how you doing, Zach?
I'm doing good. So, how's your day been?
I'm pretty good, pretty chill so far.
Pretty chill so far?
Yeah.
All right, good deal. So, did you kind of hear what we were going to do a little bit? Do you have an idea, or do you want me to go back over a little bit?
Something about jobs?
Yeah, so what we're going to do is something about jobs. It's always something about jobs on Wednesday. But what we're going to do is I'm going to go through some job skills here.
Right.
And then what you're going to do is kind of give me an idea of which ones that you have. And, or you feel like exuding. And you don't have to pick all 8, you can just pick a couple of them.
All right.
And then what we'll do is we'll learn some more stuff out here, okay? So I know, and I know you currently work as well, and so I know you probably utilize some of these things already. So let's see what we got here. So one of the skills is communication. There's teamwork, problem solving, initiative, planning and organizing, self-management, learning, and technology. If you had to pick one of those skills or 2, what do you think?
Mostly like learning and again?
Communication, teamwork, problem solving, initiative, planning, self-management, learning, and technology.
Yeah, learning and problem solving.
Learning and problem solving, wonderful. Learning and problem solving. So, problem solving. What do you think problem solving? I mean, when you think of problem solving, what do you think of?
Something like, let's say if I deal with like an upset customer, if they're like upset, like, hey, this person was like, this employee was being rude to me, do you think he can have somebody come help me or something like that, or whatever? And like, yeah, I think it's not okay. So they're like, okay, would you, I'll go ahead and have a manager come out and help you out with that situation, so
Yeah.
that way you can get that sorted out.
No, that's definitely a way of problem solving on the spot in the job force. That's great, actually. I think that's really great. Also, too, okay, and the next thing you had was on there was learning. What is your take on the learning?
I would say for learning, like, especially like when, like you always learn something new when you're at a job, especially when they put you in different positions.
Yes.
So basically, if let's say they move you to like a different like position in the job, and you're already used to like doing the same thing over and over again. So once they move you to like a different place to like work at, like in the like a different department, I would say, you start to learn something new. So you start to like retrain your brain on how to do this, and then like but sometimes like it takes a while, but once you start, getting it down, like you should be able to do fine for sure.
Yeah, for sure. And I think a lot of it has to do with a willingness to stay open to learn. I think if we close ourselves down, it makes it a little bit harder.
Yeah, it's always good to learn new things, especially on a job. So.
I agree 100%.
Because I gotta be honest, like if you're just stuck doing the same thing over and over again, it kind of gets a little boring. You know what I mean?
It does. No, you're right. You're 100% right. And the more you do, the more you learn, the more you can do. It opens up a lot more opportunity for you. That's great. And and I was gonna say, for those of us out there who are wondering, well, I don't have a job. How can I learn things? You know what? You can learn things by simply doing an online course, researching skills and courses you'd like to do even.
Yeah.
Starting a new hobby is learning something. Joining a sporting or volunteer group. Teaching yourself a new skill like making the perfect omelet. I mean, because it's all part of learning. So we can actually kind of teach us, if let's just say we haven't had a job yet before, right?
Yeah.
These are just all things that we do throughout our life, right?
Yeah.
So as long as you're open to learning, it's going to flow, it sounds like, pretty easily when you work into the work field, like you were discussing there.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Brandon, thank you. Those are two great skills to have, learning and problem solving. They're actually both really good to have. So, they're all great to have, you guys. There's not one that's better than the other, but awesome.
Yeah.
Brandon, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
For your experience too with them.
Always a pleasure.
Oh yeah, thank you. Next up, I got Mr. Logan here. Hi, Logan. How are you today?
Good.
Good. Nice handshake. Nice handshake. Good deal. Good deal. So, as we go through these soft skills, I'm going to read them off again, and you can either tell me how you've learned them in different environments, or if there's something that you utilize now. Okay. So we got communication, teamwork, problem solving, initiative, planning, self-management, learning, and technology.
I sort of learned them through attending VTDI, and I learned teamwork.
Okay, so we got teamwork, okay? And how have you learned teamwork? What are some of the things that you've learned that has helped you with your
I
teamwork?
learned to be patient with the team, and to when they need something getting done, actually like focusing on that and paying attention, and having the whole team actually get together and actually focus on that. So that way we can get the issue. That way we can get the thing done.
So like when you're doing like a group assignment or something?
It can be a group assignment, or
Okay.
in the past it was with was through BCDI with volunteering.
Volunteering, very
You
much
know,
so.
we did it at a couple of the first stores, a couple of the times.
Yeah, and actually, you know what, Logan, you bring up some good point. Actually, one of the things on here, they say volunteering with a community organization
Yeah,
is a good way to find teamwork.
yeah,
A couple other examples are doing group assignments.
yeah,
And we do group projects here, huh,
Yeah.
sometimes. And so, you know, Logan's right, those group assignments, those group projects, those are, you know, the reason we do those here, yes, it's fun, and yes, you can research, you can learn stuff, but a lot of it is how to work with a team, right?
My thing that I remember I was doing here that we actually did it like every Wednesday.
Uh-huh.
If anybody doesn't remember, probably the older clients will probably remember this. Every Wednesday was mock interviews. If we were doing mock interviews, and they have all the staff do the interviews, and we would go to each of the rooms.
Uh-huh.
Each of the rooms, and they would only have the people that are dressed up actually go out into the building.
Yeah,
And we'd actually go and like go to the businesses and like introduce ourselves and ask a few questions.
Well,
I
that was-
remember we would do that almost all the time and at the newer building.
yeah, well, we had a lot less clients back then, but you know what was good about that, when you
Yeah.
bring up though, Logan, you bring up some good things. That was a good form of learning how to go out and to communicate.
Yeah,
And it was a good, it was really, and also too, the communication, it was very good on the communication. 'Cause
Yeah.
it taught us to go and introduce ourselves and meet up with other businesses and just continue with some of those soft
Yeah.
skills, so. Wonderful, well, wonderful, I appreciate it. Logan, thank you so much for coming up here. Thank you. I appreciate it, have a good day, man.
me too.
All right. Brennan, even though David was technically next,
Well, he was in front of the line.
you let him cut in front of the line, Mr. Ben.
No, he was there before.
Technically.
Oh, okay. All right. Brennan's next. We'll let him go.
Technically, yeah.
We'll talk to him. All right.
I guess I have to talk to you too.
Wow, be nice with Brandon.
Fine, I'll talk to Brennan. So Brennan, speaking of soft skills, and I know you currently are wrapping up a job. You might have a little bit of time left, but you're currently wrapping up your job. So communication, teamwork, problem solving, initiative, planning and organizing, self-management, learning, and technology. What are some of the skills that you have found? And I'm going to actually relate this to you working. How many of these skills have you utilized working?
In one way or another, I believe all of them.
In one way or another, all of them. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, fair enough. No, I was about to say, as I started thinking about your job and everything that you do, I could pretty much, yes.
Agree to,
I mean, because you figure your technology
with the walkie-talkie.
might not be a
and
whole
cooking
lot, but
and-
it is. It's clocking in,
And it's the walkie-talkie.
walkie-talkie, the use of emails,
Mm-hmm. And text messages.
and text messages for your work schedule, right?
Yes.
Learning, you've obviously been open to learning, what, in 2 different positions there,
Yeah.
And-
I mean,
right?
yeah. No, yeah, I mean, yeah. Like I said before, I'm probably pretty sure I mentioned it, but it was facilitating a trainee for a day spot on a job that she wouldn't normally do.
Okay, so not only did you learn positions, you also then became the teacher.
Yes.
So that's very awesome. Self-management. Self-management is one of those things where we're not having somebody over our shoulder all the time. You work very much by yourself.
Oh yeah, easily.
So
You were only there for probably not even a month.
about, yeah, give or take a month, I was on both your shifts, give or take, probably.
Yeah, but,
right?
I'd say less than a month
Yeah.
max.
And I was there on your shifts, but honestly, when you and I were there, I mean, nobody else came and talked to us.
No.
I mean, unless something came up, but I
Yeah.
mean, so you then have to, you're responsible for making sure that you get your jobs done, and your boss has trust in you,
Mhm.
and that's huge. Planning and organizing, that was something I remember you and I talking about a little bit
Yeah.
when you first started. Remember,
Yes.
kind of like figuring out what was the best, just whatever was best for you.
Right, and I actually learned quite quickly, how to do the same thing but in different ways.
Perfect.
So I learned not just your way, not just my way, but I also learned another way that I didn't realize before. So I guess I learned two ways, but multiple, I guess. Hard to explain, but I did learn it in multiple ways.
Multiple ways. No, that's okay actually. And Brennan knows this, you know, as a job coach, I'll point something out because I might see it, but remember, it's really what's gonna be comfortable with you in the end, what's gonna help. You know, what all I'm doing is giving pointers, and I would tell Brennan that. You probably heard me say that a million
You
times.
taught me how to mop concrete.
Yes, we did. We did mop concrete. I think it was day 3.
It was day 3.
It was day 3. We learned how to mop concrete.
Reason was totally off topic for the reason why, but anyway.
So planning, organizing, we already talked about that. Initiative.
It was pretty much daily for my shift.
I was gonna say, that was your job.
That
I
was,
mean,
yeah,
because
no, exactly.
you had 2 choices.
Mhm.
You could have stood and watched the baseball game and hope your boss didn't see you, or you could have taken initiative and made sure you.
Oh, there was times where I was sitting, but because I wasn't always constantly on the move to clean something or constantly doing something, like even on fan appreciation night last week, not Connor, but the next one.
Oh, I'm sorry. I
I
know.
forget her name, but anyway.
Veronica.
Veronica,
Yeah,
she was there.
Veronica.
She was saying, "Are you a twin?" Sorry, again, trying to keep the topic. Anyway, she noticed me, and I got to work. I told her, that yes, my family's here. I will stick to my job. I will do my job. I won't let them get distracted, but I do check on them from time to time. She said that's fine, and that took initiative.
Nice. Nice. Problem solving. I know you
Yeah.
utilize that.
Mhm.
You had to use that. Remember, we had to figure out a way for you to go in the female restroom.
Restroom. And there was another time, unrelated reason, but yes, I actually did have to do that on the bigger restroom.
Oh, okay,
I have to
okay.
tell you that story later.
We'll have to hear about that one later on.
Yes.
And then teamwork, even though you individually were doing a job, you still though were helping out.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. I was everybody, even the fans would come up to me and say, "Good job."
And that's
Like
awesome.
this last Saturday, I had a bunch of kids. They were trying to do fist bumps, but I was wearing all my stuff, so I was like giving them elbow bumps every time. So it was pretty cool.
Oh, fun.
Yeah,
That's actually fun. That's really cool.
yeah.
That's really cool. That makes me smile, actually. I'm sure that made you smile.
Oh
Huh?
no, yeah, it was actually pretty cool.
Definitely.
They're like, they're just being nice and
Just
yeah.
kids running around doing their thing. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's
Putting
awesome.
their hand out, having everybody, slap the high five, and I'm like, feeling in my elbow.
I know. I think that's great. I think that's great. That's one of the fun rewards about, I think,
But I think actually it made my entire evening.
those little things can go a long ways.
That sure
Seriously.
does, yeah.
And then communication. We talked about that a little bit. Walkie-talkie,
Mhm.
expressing your need. Like, do I go in the women's restroom without someone around? I remember we
Yes,
had asked
that
that
was, to be
question.
honest, that was probably one of the biggest concerns for me when I first started. Was it didn't make me anxiety, but it did give me concerns because I didn't know how to go about it.
Mhm.
Because I've done it before in my previous work, but that was for a different way, different experience.
Yep.
This
Yep.
one is a different way, different experience. So even though I've done it before, this job has certain requirements. So I learned with you on and then I took what I learned from
Mhm.
you, used it for myself in my own way, and I know how to do it now.
Yeah, I think that's one of the things. Remember, you bring up actually something really good. Remember, policies like Brennan just stated. Yeah, I've done this at my one job before, but you always want to find out how your new job does it as well, because they might do it a different way or they might have a different policy. So very good bringing that up. I appreciate that, and thank you. Actually, thanks for going through every one of these. Brennan and I just went through all 8 of them, and in his job place, he utilizes a little bit of every one of these.
Yeah,
Soft
in one
skills.
way or another, I really actually do. I didn't think about it until we were just going through that, and I'm like, that list is really it explains everything, really, what I do.
Sometimes, Brennan, and I can say this for everybody out there as well, but sometimes you guys seeing it on paper or having someone go over it, I'm looking at it too, and I was amazed. I read about the technology part earlier, and I thought when I read technology, my first thing is like, oh, what? They want me to build a computer or something?
Right, yeah, exactly.
But really, when it broke it down, it was like really just knowing your emails, knowing how to type, knowing how to access those kinds of things.
How to make the
That
phone
right
call.
there
How to
is
make-
technology savvy.
Mhm.
It might not be technology savvy to someone who's a computer expert,
Right.
but you have enough technology, it fits as a skill.
If you know how to use your phone, then you know how to use
Yeah,
technology.
exactly.
That's
So,
cool.
Brendan, thank you so coming up,
Thank you.
sir. And let me know if you hear back on that text.
I actually did. I'll tell you.
Okay, we'll talk about it after then. All right. Come on up, David, who should have been here before, but told me Brendan was ahead of him, so I'll let him.
Hope you was.
Gosh. I heard no communication over there. You guys weren't practicing the soft skill very much. No communication at all. No, okay. So, Mr. David, I know you also work. I know you utilize a lot of these, but I'm gonna go through them. I'm gonna read them, okay? And then I'm gonna ask you, which one do you think is your strength, and which one do you think would be your weakness?
Okay.
Okay? So, number one is communication,
Mhm.
teamwork, problem solving, initiative, planning, self-management, learning, technology. Start with either one. Just tell me which one you want to start with. And if you don't have a real weak, remember sometimes something we're strong at can also be a weakness too, you guys. Always remember that.
Yeah, that too.
Remember, sometimes we can be very strong at something, but we can still want to be getting better.
I have to say my weakness is the self-management.
Self-management, tough. That's a hard one, guys. Yeah, let's look at let's see what these guys say about self-management today, David. Why do you think so? Just curious.
Because I don't really use it that often, actually.
Just not used to being on your own, so to speak.
Yeah.
Because I know where you work. David works in the food area, so he's always surrounded by people, working as a team. They're always communicating. Communicating has definitely got to be one of your tops, I would think. I don't know.
Top tier.
Yeah, I don't know. But yes, he is right. So self-management, it's basically though, now look at it like this, it's being able to do your job without someone having to check up on you all the time. So even with that team, do you have somebody coming back there going, hey David, you got everything okay? All the time?
Actually, no. To be honest, actually, no.
Awesome, see? Staying on top of your own deadlines. So if you, let's say they gave you a task, David, we need French fries to be ready or something, we need more French fries. Does someone stand back there and go over those French fries with you?
No?
While they're doing them, you go and get them ready and
Yep.
put them where they need to go, right?
Yep.
So you're staying on top of what you need, right?
Yep.
Delegating tasks to other people to make sure things get done. Are there times where you have to sometimes maybe?
Sometimes.
Okay.
But not really that often.
Yeah, because I know usually, well, when you're a cashier, don't you delegate?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
I was gonna say, because I've seen you running the register before, and I know the person with the register, they don't run back and do all the food. They're usually like, hey, I need.
Actually, but this year, actually, we've been having to run for ourselves, though.
Oh, really? So it's been a little different this year. Okay.
Okay, yeah,
Okay.
because we only have like 3 runners.
Oh, wow. Okay, interesting. So a little different, but okay. Okay, and so what is one of your strengths, do you think, in all those fun things?
All the rest of them, actually.
You think you have strengths in all of them? Well, how about we go through communication then? And the only reason I bring that up is I think communication is number one. They put it as number one. I think it's one of it's the basic skills of any work environment. I mean, our bosses don't know what we need unless we talk to our bosses. We don't know what we're doing unless we ask a question.
So do not over communicate. That's the problem with me.
Yeah, over communication, that's where we start getting into our personal lives, or we start
Yeah.
letting maybe our boss know every little detail of where we're at, if we're on time. You can get a little too much into over communicating, but but communication though still is really good. And I'd rather have somebody come and tell me, it's okay, you don't need to tell me you're gonna be at work every time, as opposed to, I'd rather have someone tell me I'm over communicating than not communicating
Yeah.
enough. So, because you can always take it back.
It's like a 50-50 kind of deal.
No, definitely. So in your area, it is a 50-50. So in your area, one of the communication things that gets overlooked is nonverbal communication.
Oh, yes.
Such as our body language.
Oh, yes.
So you, for example, being in front of customers, and maybe you just had a customer that wasn't so nice, and you kept on that professional smile, and you made that customer feel like they were the best thing ever. Would you give it away if you all of a sudden were just like,
No.
that's body language, really no, like, that's body language.
Oh,
You're communicating to the customer like, oh my gosh, you're irritating me, gosh. So yeah, you want to be careful with that.
Yeah.
You know, our body language can, or big sighs. Really? Okay. Are you sure you just don't want the tri-tip sandwich already? How many times have you sat there and the customer's taking like 25 minutes to order?
I just tell them to take as long as you want.
Oh man, you are better than I am, dude. This is why you're working there and I'm not. Because you can do that stuff. No, that's really good. It really is.
Well, it's the power of being patient.
The power of being patient. I like that actually. I maybe need to work on my power of being patient. Gosh. All right, David. Great job, man. Appreciate it. Thank you, David, as always, for coming up. Like I said, David, you know, he does, in Brennan as well, they get to utilize a bunch of these things. Next up, I got Elijah. Come on up, sir.
I'm not Elijah. I'm Isaiah.
Isaiah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry, everybody. I called him Elijah. It's Isaiah. I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. It happens. I apologize, sir. I apologize. So, I'm gonna read these skills, and then I want you to tell me one of the skills that you think you've started, you feel good about. Okay? So communication,
A little.
teamwork,
Sometimes.
sometimes. Okay, fair enough. Problem solving,
Teeny bit.
teeny bit. Okay. Taking initiative.
What's that?
Taking initiative is like, I know something needs to get done, and instead of waiting for David to tell me to get it done, I'm just going to do it. Or there's a piece of paper on the floor, and nobody else has picked it up, and I'm just going to keep walking by it because everybody else. Or taking initiative, I'm going to pick it up.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, okay, fair enough. Planning and organizing.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Self-management.
A teeny bit.
Teeny bit. What about learning? Are you open to learn?
Probably.
Probably. And technology. How are you with technology?
Teeny bit.
Teeny bit, really? With all those memes you make and stuff?
Not like those. I mean, I used to take computer class in high school, but it was pretty difficult.
It was difficult. Okay. So you would feel like I have a little bit of each one of these skills. Okay. Okay. Well, here, I'm going to go through a quick thing here. So, an examples of better communication. Writing assignments, reports, blogging or using social media, making oral presentations, so communicating, obviously working in customer service, if you were to get a first job that can help you out, getting involved in a local club, and being aware of how you hold your body. And that's that nonverbal communication, all right? Because if I sat in here with you guys and I just kind of, what's my body language tell me? Tell you guys.
You don't care.
Yeah, I don't care. What else?
Laid back.
Yeah, a little maybe too laid back, right? Almost lazy, almost lounging, See, our body language does tell a lot. And we gotta be careful sometimes with that. Now, of course, that was over exaggerated, but definitely be careful with that. All right, well, no, I think that's really cool. You guys, it's not easy to self-assess yourself. All right, so what we just did right here was very good. Isaiah he did a great job because it's not easy to self-assess yourself and put yourself like, I do need to learn a little bit here. Need to learn a little bit here. I need to still learn something here. So really good job. I definitely would say you're actually very open to learning. So I think that's really good, man. Thank you, sir. All right. I think I have a little time for one more coming on up here. I've got Mr. Alex. Welcome.
Hi, Zach.
Hi. How are you?
Good.
Good. So I want you to go ahead and give me one of you. I'm going to read these first, and then I want you to go ahead and give me one of your strengths, okay?
So, strengths and weaknesses.
Well, if you want to give a weakness, you can, but a strength is fine, all right?
All right. So,
So here we go. Communication, teamwork, problem solving, initiative, planning, self-management, learning, technology.
okay. So, communication. I'm having a little bit of a hard time because I'm usually nervous when it comes to meeting new people.
Oh, yeah. To get the good old case of the shaky nerves, huh?
Yeah, but it takes me time to get it over with. But I'm still trying to.
It's okay.
Still trying my hardest not to be nervous. But I'm getting there.
No, I understand that. I completely understand that. It's not easy, and sometimes making oral presentations, like the group projects that we do, and standing up and communicating in front of people, doing what you're doing right now in front of this live audience. I mean, all your peers watching, and we don't know exactly who's all watching on here. I know David's sitting behind the camera, but outside of that, we don't know who else is on there. That's actually a form of practicing that communication. So that's actually good.
Okay.
Teamwork. What about teamwork?
Teamwork. I don't know. I really don't have a job, but
But you don't have to have a job. Remember, teamwork. When you worked on your those movies, remember those movies we did? Those little clips that we did?
oh yeah.
Did you guys work? Did you just do it by yourself?
No, we all did it together.
Yeah. So that's an assignment. Teamwork.
So for teamwork, 98%.
Okay, 98%. Nice. Yeah. And did you think of ways you could work better with people?
By getting along with people.
Yeah, it is. That's a really good way to work better with people. That's great.
Because we don't work alone. We all work together. We know that.
Yep. In the end, you're all trying to complete the same task, huh?
Yep.
What about problem solving, sir? Because I know problems come up all the time for all of us.
I would say for problem solving, I'm at least at 85.
85. What do you think is one of your strengths when it comes to solving problems?
I'm not sure, honestly.
That's fine. So sometimes when we're trying to find a problem, these are some things that we can do to help us improve is research, all right? And this would be more if we're doing some sort of school assignment, but sometimes too, just researching our job. I remember with David and Brennan, for example, when they first started getting their jobs, we started figuring out Fridays and Saturdays were a little bit of the busier days, and so you could prepare your mindset, right? So you weren't overwhelmed by that.
And we figured out Sundays were the low busy days.
Sundays when it's 110 out, nobody wants to be there.
No.
Doing a study skills course, dealing with complaints, talking to other people about how they solve their problems, and sometimes just fixing broken things around the house by YouTube, and find out how to do it. And so instead of it just being a problem, try to figure out how to solve the problem, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, okay. Initiative, I like the initiative. One thing is approaching organizations and businesses about work placement and internships, set up a fundraiser in your community, making or proposing changes to the way a group you belong to does things, and then also doing things around the house without being asked. Do you do things around the house without being asked?
Yes. So I would say I'm 95 at initiative.
Nice. Planning and organizing.
I'm gonna say 96.
96, okay. So do you organize a lot of family get-togethers?
Sometimes.
No, that's cool. That's just one of the examples they have here. Sometimes helping to organize a community event, managing your time around work, study, family commitments. So, I mean, so that kind of falls into, and I know you have a special someone too as well. So you have to manage not only your own time with family, spending time with your special someone.
Yeah.
So you have to do a lot of planning. Are you able to plan those out pretty well all that time?
Usually for me, if I'm planning to do a special thing with someone that I know and someone that I love, I usually do it on my own. But it gets a little hard, but I do ask for help.
That's good. That's good. Always ask for help, guys. Always ask for help. Please. There's nothing wrong with asking for help. I was talking to somebody earlier
Don't need to
today.
be afraid about it.
It's okay. I used the example that there's certain things that seriously you might as well type in how to teach Zach at a second grade level something on the AI chat, because sometimes that's how you have to break it down for me. It's okay to ask questions, you guys.
Just remember, if you ever want to get a job, you can email him. Email is at zvcdi.org.
You're right. Well, Alex, I appreciate you being up here and coming up here. Thank you for having coming on in, man.
You're welcome.
Thank you. You guys, so remember our soft skills are anything, and I'm going to go through these last three real quick. Self-management, some of the things that we could have learned our self-management through is obviously with work experience, but asking for new responsibilities. So that could be around the house, that could be at program, that could be in the group. If you guys are doing one of those videos, if you've never done the editing before, do the editing. Join a volunteer organization. We do some volunteering around here, and that's very good. And something as simple as just keeping up on your own stuff at the house is self-management. Just keeping a routine, learning. That is, like I said, it's just being willing to stay open to learning new things, you guys. And technology, no, it doesn't mean we have to build a new computer, you guys. It's as simple as learning how to communicate through emails and possibly writing, okay? A lot of the things today that we do in our work, in our jobs, especially in entry-level positions, our time clocks is all usually computer related. Ask those who are working, checking your payroll, your pay stubs. A lot of those are done through the internet, like ADP, things like that, stuff you have to log into. Also, too, the technology might come in handy when you're running a register. But see, the thing is, registers aren't like they used to be. Now everything's programmed in there. It's a couple buttons. Ask David sometime if you guys are ever interested. I've seen the guy work them. I get overwhelmed by that too. But I will tell you, as soon as you sit in front of it and you learn it, it's not so bad, you guys. Remember, guys,
It gets easy that quick.
it gets easy that quick. And remember, guys, as long as you're open to learning all these skills, everything in here that we've talked about is something you can figure out, you guys. You guys have a great rest of your day. Thanks for letting me be a little extra long-winded today. And remember, like I said, you all have these skills. You all have them. All right? Have a good one, guys. Bye now.